Australian man arrested over $250,000 Lego and toy heist. An Australian man is facing theft charges after police uncovered a significant trove of Lego and toys worth $250,000 dues allegedly stolen from department stores in Adelaide. About 2,500 items, including 1,700 unopened boxes of Lego, were found when the South Australian police raided a Royal Park home on Saturday. There's a toy master. Who the hell is this guy? The haul, which police say was going to be sold online, was the largest seized during an operation targeting retail theft in the state, and so big that extra officers were called in to help remove the loot, which filled 3 truckloads. I don't know if these guys have been robbing trucks or been breaking into places and doing great big massive heists or something like that. I don't know, but this isn't just shoplifting, this is like heist stuff. You don't accumulate that many toys just by shoplifting. You know, unless you're extremely good at it and you've been doing it for a very, very long time, but still. The 41-year-old man charged over the stash will appear in Port Adelaide Magistrates Court on 30th September. Apart from the Lego, other stolen items included soft toys, water guns and toy trucks, with brands such as Pokemon, Barbie, Hello Kitty and Thomas the Tank Engine. The size of the haul is significant and indicates the depth of the alleged offending, John DeCandia from South Australia Police said. He said the operation, which sees shops team up with police to catch alleged thieves, targets repeat offenders as well as those who use violence and threats when stealing. As the stolen items were believed to be bound for online sales, police urged consumers not to buy cheap goods from the web because you could be buying stolen stuff. But at the end of the day, it's cheaper. And it's not like it's fake, it's just stolen. You're getting the actual product, you're just getting it for cheaper. I do not encourage the carrying or selling or reselling of stolen goods. But anyway, this type of theft is not victimless, DeCandia said. Those who purchase cheap goods from online sites are unwittingly facilitating this crime, and we would urge them to consider this. I think the average mother that's on food stamps and has 5 kids and daddy's not around anymore doesn't really give a shit. If she can get the toy cheaper, she's going to get it cheaper. She doesn't give a shit. Right, that's the problem. But anyway, police said the operation has seen a drop in shop thefts in recent months in South Australia, with officers making about 2,500 arrests. Retail crime across the globe has surged in recent years, with a survey showing reports by retailers of customer theft in the UK rose by 3.7 million to 20.4 million in the 12 months to September 2024, costing retailers an estimated £2 billion. And the reason for that is the police no longer come after it. It has to be, we get the same California thing where it has to be over a certain amount before the police will even do anything. That's the problem, and it's happening over and over again. That's why people are getting away with it. Basically, if you make it really, if you say to everyone, yeah, you'll totally get away with it, then they'll do it. That's the way crime works. And there's not a deterrent. That's what prison sentences and all that for. They're supposed to be deterrents to make you reconsider the crime. If you're like, oh, there's going to be like no repercussions for this at all, then you're just going to do it. Because some people, unfortunately, don't just not do it out of a moral judgment. You know, the reason that I don't go around beating people up is because morally not cool, also not very Bible of you, right? The reason that I don't do bad things is because I like to make a moral judgment. But some people, sadly, aren't very moral people, right? So the only way that you can prevent them from doing bad things is if there will be serious repercussions for them doing those bad things, right? Unfortunately, not everybody has a conscience, right? So that's why prison is there. And if there's no repercussions, then people are going to go, hey-oh, and just go around stealing Lego. Also, it reminds me of a story. I'm not sure if I should tell you this, right? My grandfather, he died when I was kind of young. And he was, what's the best way to put this? A career criminal. And basically, my dad didn't see him much when he was a child. He didn't run out of home. He was kept away from home, shall we say, by bars. But and I don't mean pubs. I mean literal bars. But basically, as a very prolific criminal and armed robber, not many people want to hire you when you've got that type of criminal record. So basically, there was a year at Christmas. My dad's a little boy at this point, and my dad says, I really, really want a bike for Christmas. And my grandfather was like, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. And obviously, he's no job. He's absolutely skint. He's absolutely broke. How the hell am I going to buy my son this bike? So I was about to say allegedly he's dead, but you're gonna dig him up and arrest him. But like, okay, he did this. Him and a few of his friends went out and paid a little visit to some toy shops. Right? Didn't tell my grandmother. And so my grandmother came downstairs to like my dad going crazy, and my gran came down expecting the few little presents that were under the tree. And according to my dad, you couldn't see the floor for toys. You couldn't see the floor for toys, right? So I think my grandfather knew that if he told my grandmother what he was going to do, my grandmother would have said, fuck no, you're not fucking doing that. Right? So he basically had to do it behind her back and make sure my dad saw all the toys first. So by that point, it's too late. She would be totally evil. She took all the toys off my dad. And my dad was like, Mom, look! And my grandmother was like, oh, that's great. That's fucking lovely. Look at all the toys. She was so fucking angry. And oh man, but my dad told me this story and he just went, fucking best Christmas ever.